mandatory is hard. But for me to be feeling like this, day 1 going into day 2, it's crazy.
Fasting isn't an option. Like, fasting to me now, when trying to see God, is mandatory. Hi guys, I'm Irie and this is Polo, aka Nugget, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going over my Esther Fast. I'm going to talk about all things fasting, my Esther Fast, and my testimony, and what came from it. So it's been about 3 months since I last uploaded my chat video where I was sitting down being very vulnerable and open with you guys. Y'all literally saw me get myself out of a 3-day depression. I literally showered, put on my clothes, put my makeup and my edge control right there, and was like, okay, we're gonna speak life into yourself and, you know, just see what happens from here. And thanks to God, I have not been in that space or headspace since. I'm not depressed anymore. I'm not, you know, speaking down on myself. I'm not like in that negative headspace. Life has really been good. I'm happy overall. So much has happened, so I want to give you guys a little catch up from there to now. I've traveled a little bit. So Chanel surprised me with a trip to New York. We did like a 24-hour trip to New York, went and saw the city. I've never been there, so that was cute. We also went to Mexico and spent like a weekend there for Lily, Charlotte's, and Made's birthday. I moved into my first place, so this is where you see me at now. I'm in like a little weird position. Like I said, the lighting is bad here. I'm trying to figure out like what's a cute little way, or what was a cute spot. Like I have a couple of cute spots set up so far. Like as you can see, I got a little plant action, but if I close the door, the lighting is really, really bad. I've started dating, guys. I didn't think I would say that for a while, but I did start dating. That came out of nowhere. And I feel like, oh, the nails. I feel like that's a chat for another video, because I've learned so much with dating. And yeah, like now that I'm like following God and putting him first, and what he say comes before anything, it comes before my feelings and my actions and what I want to do, right? Like dating is completely different, because now religion comes into factor, me being abstinent comes into factor, like a bunch of like deep discussions that I didn't used to have, you know, before. So that'll be a whole nother video. Oh, I became a new auntie. My sister gave birth to her first baby. We went to her baby shower. She gave birth. I was just at the hospital, you know, not too long ago. Yeah, have a new little niece. She's so cute, so precious. I'm a crybaby. Look, I got my tissues on deck, because one thing about me, I spent some time with family and friends. So life has really been like busy, a little chaotic, but it's really been beautiful. And 2025 has ended, and now we're in 2026, but 2025 ended very beautifully. God has literally carried me through the year. Me and Alicia literally just made a highlight video. I'm gonna post it right here where y'all can click that and watch that, where we listed all of our highlights of the 2025 year. And you know, when you look back at it, I look back at 2025 and I can see so many hard times and so many struggles, but I always say this later, like not while I'm crying and not while I'm going through it, but once I'm over it and I'm out of that season, I'm like, okay, that was needed. Everything has a purpose, everything has a reason, right? And I needed that. In our 2025 video that me and Alicia did, I did mention how I did a 3-day Esther fast. I also mentioned it in my sit down video about my wilderness season. I mentioned how I just got out of an Esther fast, and yet I'm magically here in a depression. So this video was not supposed to take 3 months. There's been so much going on, as you can see, as I just said, but I want to deep dive into that for people who's curious about fasting, or, you know, if you're just nosy. But I feel like everything plants seeds. So, you know, maybe you watching this video will inspire you to fast one day, or, you know, this is a sign that God is speaking to you for you to fast. And yeah, let's get into it. We're gonna go and do our Bible verses. I have 2 Bible verses for you guys today, okay? So we're gonna do some homework. The first Bible verse is Esther 4:16, and it says, "Go gather together all the Jews who are in Susa and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day, and I, my attendants, will fast as you do. When this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law, and if I perish, I perish." So that is Esther 4:16. And then the other one, Matthew 6:16 through 18. When you fast, do not look somber as the hypocrites do, for they disfigure their faces to show others they are fasting. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face, so that it will not be obvious to others that you are fasting, but only to your Father who is unseen, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. So we have 2 Bible verses. I feel like the Esther Fast was needed for people who don't know what the Esther Fast is. Like, that's where it pulls from. And then Matthew 6:16 through 18 just basically describes like your heart posture when you're fasting, right? I did the Esther Fast. I did 3-day, no food, no water, complete isolation. I called off work. At that time, I was working 2 jobs, so I called off work for both jobs. I did no social media. I didn't talk to anybody. My mom, my sisters, my nieces. I literally like shut out the outside world. I literally sat in the house, thirsty, hungry, seeking the Lord. The reason I did that particular fast, I feel like in that moment, I was in a period of my life where I feel like everything just was going wrong, right? And I couldn't hear God. I was so busy. I was so focused on trying to like catch my life that I feel like I was like losing my life at the same time. Like, I'm trying so hard to get my shit together that I haven't really got my shit together. Like, you know, and forgive me if me bleeping out the cuss word was like, you know, but that's basically like how I felt in that season. It was just too many pressures. I felt like I was literally fighting for my life. I was stressed out. I was burnt out. I was mentally tapped out. I don't know how I lasted as long as I did, but I was just like at the breaking point. I was also at the point too where I would just like ask everybody, like I would vent and be on the phone like, well, what should I do? What do you think I should do? Do you think I should pick up? Do you think I should do this? And it's like, why are you asking them? Why are you not asking the Lord what you should do? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I had to take out all that outside noise and really sit and be still and even kind of like block my own noise out of my head. That's essentially like why I fasted. I'm not gonna lie and say that I wasn't scared. I really was, because I was in the house by myself with Polo and I just was shutting out the whole world. So if it wasn't gospel music, if it wasn't The Chosen, the show David, House of David or something like that, like I wasn't watching anything if it didn't have nothing to do with glorifying the Lord, right? So I was like, okay, when you seek him in this way, you have to be ready for what he says, or if you know what happens or what comes out of this. And I was genuinely scared. I was like, I don't want no angel to pop up. I don't know. I wanted answers, but he know I'm a little chicken. So I was like, you got to give it to me in the way that you know that I can handle it. I recorded my whole like Esther Fast journey. Like I would prop up videos and speak when I felt like I needed to say something. And I'm pretty sure I spoke that in one of my videos. Like, I'm a chicken. Please spoon feed me. You know, I'm new to this. I'm like kind of scared to see what he's going to reveal to me, because I'm not one of them people that want to see an angel, babe. Yeah. I'm a chicken. I'm scary. And every time in the Bible they say, do not be afraid. And I would be very afraid. I would boo-boo on myself, actually. I'm not Moses. I can't see the fire or a burning bush, and I'm going to take that well, you know. Hopefully I can get there. God willing, I'll get there. But yeah, that's essentially like why I fasted. I also felt like I was being called throughout the year to fast. I was just so busy. When I got back from Brazil, I knew like Brazil for me was a turning point. I knew once I got back from Brazil that I was like changing my ways and I was fully committing myself to the Lord, because when I met God for myself as an adult, it was 2023. And I went to Brazil March of 2025. So it was like little small changes throughout the years and me just seeking him and doing Bible study and finding a church and feeling a desire to be more modest and just like little things. But I knew something about Brazil, and leaving there, I came back feeling so refreshed. And when I got back from Brazil, I kept saying, I want to fast. I want to fast. So as soon as I got back from Brazil, I was watching and catching up on my sermons with my church, and they were doing like a congregation fast. So it was like a baby fast, right? So it was more so like, watch how much money you spend. Don't eat on this day from 6 to 6. Make sure you're checking in with the prayer time at this time. Like, it just was like a different fast. It wasn't food and water. So I, for the most part, was consistent with that. And I completed that one to the best of my ability at that time. And that was around the time where it was Good Friday and Easter Sunday. And so I literally felt like at that point, I was like, I've never felt closer to God. Like, I learned a lot about him. I learned a lot about myself. Throughout the year, I kept getting more calls to fast, and I was just too busy. So I was working 2 jobs, or I was overworking myself. So then I would literally try to fast for 7 days, no food, no water. And by day 5, I'm breaking it. Or day 3, you know, it's just like certain instances where I just could not commit because I would be at work about to pass out. Life happened, and not to go too deep into what happened with life, but I ended up leaving my mom's house and I went to my sister's house. And at that time when I went to my sister's house, she was actually leaving to go to Thailand for like 10 days. And so at this point in time, since my breakup video where you see me putting all my things in storage up into my fast a couple months ago, I had not had like time alone. When I moved back home, I moved back home. So I went from living solo with me and Polo having a lot of time alone to think and be alone to moving back home. And I was with somebody every day. Like it just was constant human interaction. And one thing I learned about myself too is that I require a lot of alone time and isolation, and I need that to recharge and to be my best self. Just chaotic up here, okay? It was a lot of noise. It was a lot of stuff. The day that my sister left is the day that my fast began, honey. Day one, I wrote, praying by Tuesday when I reconnect with the world, God has moved on my behalf. I'm trusting that he's turning things around behind the scenes. And I ended up writing how I felt. I said, I'm feeling hungry, a little dizzy. I'm kind of restless. My body and brain has been go, go, go. That moving slower today and having no outside noise or distractions. You know, phone calls, text, scrolling, editing, planning, budgeting. Like I didn't do any of that. Nothing that was going to distract me. Even if it was like editing faith-based content, didn't do it. So that had me feeling like really bored and like I felt so restless. I was questioning if I needed solitude or if I should have completed this, like if I could have completed the 3-day fast, no food, you know, no water, while still going to work, while still being in contact with my friends. So I had to like pause and be like, no, you're okay. You can sit here and be uncomfortable. You can be bored. You can be by yourself. You don't need nothing to distract you. I said, it has me feeling a little bored and questioning if I needed solitude or if I could have completed the no food, no fast with my schedule. I know that's not possible because in my field and how much it requires so much movement and strength, I would have caved in on the food and water. And I realized how much I've been craving peace and quiet and alone time. And I can't get that with my hectic schedule. I've been begging God for answers for months, but not sitting still long enough for him to speak to me or for me to understand. So that was like day one. And then I also printed off, because I'm like a paper person and this was me just kind of taking a break from screens as well. I printed off the Bible plan and I was just like highlighting and writing and filling in my little notes at the bottom and just like pouring out my heart, right? And although God knows our heart and what we need, it feels good. It feels like a therapy session and you're like venting to like a trusted partner, like, you know. Besides like when you go to church and the pastor reads you for filth, you know, people don't know that he's talking to you, you know, but everybody else don't know. Venting to God and like coming to him is like, you know, it's a safe space. I know on day one, I didn't really feel like anything was revealed to me, but I also know that God knows his child. He said, if I reveal anything to her on day one, she might not see this through, you know? So I don't really think anything was revealed to me on day one from what my notes look like. Day two, in my notes, it says, how am I feeling? I'm a little too weak to write and speak. I have flu-like symptoms.
It's day 2, 7 a.m. I don't feel good at all. I'm nauseous. My body is weak. Like I'm hurting. I don't really know if I'm doing any of this right, honestly. I'm kind of hot. Like it's weird. It's like I'm going through withdrawals or something, or like I have a cold, or he said day 3 is hard for me to be feeling like this. Day 1 going into day 2 is crazy.
I sipped a little bit of water. I even Googled Walmart delivery and thought about calling Alicia for help. So I will admit, right, because I'm not perfect, and I feel like too the devil was convincing me at that moment when I had sipped that water that my fast was null and void and that I should not finish. I literally had a cup of water sitting there and I don't remember why I grabbed the water. I think I probably grabbed the water because I was so like delusional and weak where I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. So I put the water there. I was like, oh, I gotta quit. I failed. This fast is not gonna be good. And it was like, no, like, you know, I'm learning to give myself grace. And like I said, forgiving myself. So I'm like in that moment of picking that water up and quenching my throat, I stopped it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna continue. I didn't sleep through the night and I feel like my heart or soul was at battle last night. I literally felt like my heart and soul was in battle. Like it was the weirdest feeling.
It is day 2 and honestly, I'm feeling a little bit better now that I'm awake. I ended up having to go back to sleep because I couldn't do it. Like I literally felt like I had the flu. Like I'm like I start Googling symptoms, like, is this normal? Really uncomfortable right now. I'm uncomfortable. That's the best way to describe it. Nothing has been revealed to me yet on what, I expect to get from this. But I also told him, like, if I don't get any answers, I pray that you just continue to give me the strength and the patience and the grace to handle it. My dog is such a hater, bro. I'm over here trying to pray and be in a word, and he keep yapping. Polo, come here. We need to pray for you. Sit down. Yeah, say be quiet in Jesus' name. You doing a lot, babe. Do you see my Bible open? Yeah, I'm trying to spend time with God, and you doing too much. Yeah, we're supposed to be in solitude. You talking to too many people.
Day 3.
Hi, sister. Sorry I haven't responded. I've had a very busy weekend, I would say. I just read what the screenshots you sent me, and dude, like, that's you. Literally, that's you. I know you've gone through a lot, and we can all sit here and tell you, like, God got you, or it'll, like, this too shall pass, or it'll be okay. But I know it's not easy. Even though we're saying those things to you, I know, it's not easy to believe when you are currently going through that. This is just a season of your life. It's not meant to be forever. And whenever you go through stuff like this, one of the things I personally started doing, I really sit down with yourself and just talk to God out loud, not in silence, but actually speak and just try to see where you were last year and what you've accomplished. Even the little things like we normally just ignore, try to appreciate them and just thank God for them, Because throughout the past 2 years, or however long you've been working on yourself, trust me, a lot has changed, A lot have changed for the better. A lot have changed in you spiritually. And you have to acknowledge and appreciate those things because all of it is character building. Next time you go through something like this, you'll be better equipped for it. So, I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Some nights you might have to cry yourself to sleep, and that's okay. But ultimately, I know God got you, and I know you'll be just fine.
Hello. What's up? You want to go on the balcony? Okay, sit and be patient for a second, okay? We're teaching him the fruit of the Spirit as well, because he needs to go to heaven. I think this might be my last update until I show that I'm breaking my fast. I was able to really lock in and dive deep, and I feel like I got some revelation over what he would like me to do. When I was on the balcony yesterday, I got like a certain, I like to call them downloads, where I feel like he speaks to me. And today somebody did text me about 2 things that I've been inquiring about. So I'm not just going to limit it to the 3 days. I'm going to give him time to reveal it to me over these next few weeks, and however long he takes. But I will say, when I was writing down, I'm like, my reflections, and I'm just like, I've asked him for so much, right? And I just needed to give him thanks and praise for what he's done. I'm thankful for all the ways he's kept me safe, because there's so many situations where it looks like a setback, but it's really his protection or him working things together, right? So I am thankful, and I feel like when you're going through it, it's really hard to be thankful, or really hard to acknowledge, him. I'm leaving this fast hungry, tired, exhausted, but with a heart of like gratitude. And I feel like I needed that. I needed to be renewed as far as being grateful for him. Even though I don't have everything I want, he's given me everything that I need. And so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that no matter what, he seeks me and he keeps pulling me back to him. He doesn't let me stray too far away. And I'm grateful because I know everything will be okay. No matter how long it takes, I know everything will be okay. That's the goal, is just always be rooted in him, that I don't ever stray too far. And when I'm going through it, those Bible verses replay in my head, songs, everything.
I have a folder of like my Esther Fast, and I went and read it, and I didn't realize how certain things have been answered, and you know what I'm saying, until I sat down and like re-looked at my notes. Did God answer me? I 100% feel like he did. It's some things that I feel like it's still like a work in progress. I have to show up for those things to fully happen as well. Like I was given instructions and I have to do my part for that to come to fruition. But it was, you know, majority of the things he answered and, you know, gave me, yeah. How do I feel now? I honestly feel good. I feel optimistic. I feel like if God is for me, who can be against me? Overall, I feel blessed. I feel grateful. I feel like God has brought me really far, and I know that he did not bring me this far to leave or forsake me. So I know that I'm in good hands and I feel great. I don't feel like how I did when I started the wilderness video, y'all. So we can praise him for that. Why do I think that I fell into depression right after the fast? This year, I've learned about spiritual warfare and temptation. It's certain instances in my life, right? They're all like separate videos. But once I decided to be abstinent and decided that I want to do certain things, and I'll talk about this more in detail later, I got temptation in that way that I've never been tempted before. I will say right after my fast, right, and I'm seeking God, I feel like it was like an attack for me to kind of just like not think that what I just did was enough. I also didn't set myself up for going right back. Like I didn't set myself up for after the fast. After the fast, I ended my fast. My 72-hour alarm went off, and 3 hours later I had to be at work. So I'm sitting on the edge of the bed trying to drink some soup, trying to drink some water, and I didn't realize that. I'm thinking as soon as I break my fast, I'm gonna be hungry. I'm drinking soup and trying to drink the water, and it was like a slow process. Like my stomach wasn't really ready to take in all of that.
Good morning. I broke my fast 2 hours ago with water, soup in that bowl. Didn't open the applesauce. Didn't finish the water. Didn't finish the soup. I didn't take into account how this is a lot on your body. How after you do a 3-day dry fast, you are gonna need a day of recovery. Looking at my books at European, I'm just like, I don't know if I could do it.
I don't think that I planned it correctly. I think moving forward, when I do, because I'm going to do the fast again, when I do the fast again, I will plan for that 4th day where I just stay home and slowly reintroduce myself to food and water, slowly reintroduce myself to the people, to the world, to outside noise again. Will I do it again? I 100% will. I think now I've learned like fasting isn't an option. Like fasting to me now, when trying to see God, is mandatory. Like it's so weird how when you start to get to know God, like he just gradually changes things and changes your appetite and introduce new things to you, right? And he do it in such a gentle way and like over time where it doesn't feel overwhelming. But 2023 me would have never thought about fasting or thought that fasting was like needed or mandatory, you know? And now I'm like, I have to. This was a long one. I hope that you guys find it beneficial, but I definitely recommend that if you have not fasted yet, that you do your research and you do fast and you do try it. I think it's an essential part of seeking a relationship with the Father. And thank you guys for taking the time to watch this. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. If you guys enjoyed the video, I'll see you in my next one.